I love dinner scenes. And no, it's not because I enjoy devouring food through my eyeballs like it's some kind of sexy piece of... Dinner scenes are important. Here's why. Just to be clear, I'm not even talking about the actual food that's being eaten. That's a topic for a different video.
Cracking toast, Gromit.
Even though it's a very important part of the meal that in of itself can tell us a lot about the character in what is consumed and how. Here, the act of communion is important, as what is said in what has become my Bible in analyzing media, How to Read Literature Like a Professor. Eating a meal with someone or a group of people usually denotes trust and sharing, like those you take communion with. It establishes a sense of community. And I don't even mean it in a purely religious sense, even though there's a very ritualistic nature to it all. It's a very personal act of taking in matter to continue one's own existence. Food is what keeps us alive, which is why it matters who we eat with, what we eat, where we eat, and why we eat. Which is why lots of media pays attention to this particular act. It's so mundane, we do it every day, but it's the bread and butter of many stories. Because it can tell us a lot about the characters and the world they inhabit. It grounds us in their reality, because we can relate to that. Even when we're looking back at a time, a long time ago, in a land far, far away, we see a common meal scene, even though there's a whole galaxy the filmmakers can be showing us of wild and imaginative things. It's so that an audience can relate. I've never been to Tatooine or drank blue milk, but I've had a meal with parental figures. It's a familiar scene, but not really. They're throwing around these weird terms, talking about this Obi-Wan Kenobi guy, and old Ben is crazy, stay away from him. Child wonders if there's more to this world. He wants to get away, but, well, he's a farmer, and he's got a farm... something in this desert? I'm sure there's a Wikipedia article about it. Or maybe he can experience more of this world if he goes down to a nice cantina or whatnot, sits down with a nice lady. Like in the movie adaptation of Tom Jones. No, not that Tom Jones, though. I'm sure, though, that both of these Toms lead to boning. I mean, the whole world loves Tom Jones. Here, the meal starts off slowly. Attention is paid more to the food itself than the other person. But then an undressing of the show happens. Their eyes become fixated on each other. They're shot individually so that there's a playful back and forth to the whole scene. A lustful consumption of flesh to the point where she offers him her... Okay. I'm pretty sure you get the point, but then they go to Bone Zone. Here, the communion means sex, as it does in a lot of films. There's also something to be said about pillow talk that happens post-coitus and talk that happens after a meal as being similar. Both are very relaxed when two people are at their closest, but that's kind of outside of the scope of this video. For Twin Peaks, a series known for its almost mimetic use of pie, donuts, and coffee, the dichotomy of who eats what is very apparent. David Lynch, who is very infamous for refusing to reveal any deeper meanings to his works.
It seems to me that that's what that recurrent visual motif is about. And I know you hate saying what things mean in your films, but am I right in thinking that that's at least in the right area? No.
Really wants people to know that the gross cream corn garmonbozia that the denizens of the space above the convenience store need to fuel their evil is the embodiment of pain and suffering, in contrast to the pie, donuts, and coffee that the good people of Twin Peaks consume at the R&R diner. But we've only talked about when meals go the way they planned. I would be remiss to not talk about those dinners. When you look up dinner scenes, you find list articles of the most awkward dinner scenes. Actually, pretty much a trope of the dinner that's gone awry. Most of our meals go without much note. They're mostly mundane, but that's why when things do go wrong, we remember them.
Sometimes in literature, just like in real life, A meal is just that, a meal. But most of the time, there's something else going on. So the next time we watch something, make sure to pay a little attention whenever there's a communion going on, whether it be a literal communion, someone sharing a lunch, a breakfast, dinner, any sort of meal, sharing a drink, or even a smoke. The act of sharing here is important. Pay a little bit more attention. There's usually something going on. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.